This is amazing. Košice, Slovakia. No Slovak. Hey there, good afternoon. How's it going? Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. Currently 83 degrees Fahrenheit. That is 28 degrees Celsius. It is hot here in Košice, the second largest city in Slovakia, here in Central Europe or Eastern Europe. And despite being the second largest city of the country of Slovakia, then it is relatively little known, not very touristy. This is the main pedestrian street. You can see you have tram rails on two sides of the street. You have all kinds of different artistic sculptures, statues, including here the plague column. Let's see if we can get a closer look inside there. It is about 1 in the afternoon and turning into a very nice day. It was looking more cloudy earlier, but it has gotten sunny and warm. Okay, looks like this is possible to open. Yes. So this column commemorates a plague that struck the city in the early 18th century and then was created shortly afterwards, also in the 18th century. There is a lot of history in the city. It is very classic European. Various changing of empires in the region. Of course, Slovakia, previously part of Czechoslovakia during the communist era, and then broke into the Czech Republic and Slovakia in the early 1990s, along with the fall of the Soviet Union and the breakup of Yugoslavia, etc. And so the Czech Republic has become more popular, it seems. I guess mostly because of Prague being such a fantastic city. Slovakia, on the other hand, has not gotten the same tourist influx for somewhat mysterious reasons, in my opinion, because it is really a very, very nice country, and Košice in particular is a really nice city, certainly the nicest city of Slovakia that I've seen. Not that I've seen a whole lot, but I guess partly it is just out of the way getting out here. There are limited flights into the airport. There is an international airport here in Košice, but Bratislava hasn't attracted the same level of tourism as many other European cities, and so Slovakia kind of gets overlooked a bit when there is really a lot to see. So far then I have just seen Bratislava on a previous trip, and then a few days ago came down from Poland, stayed in Poprad, and explored the Tatra Mountains, and then came over here. So I haven't seen a lot, but everything that I have seen has been very, very nice. So I think it is just because Slovakia doesn't have that one standout attraction or city that really draws the crowds. But so far from what I've seen, it is one of those countries where you can just go wherever, and there are all kinds of different really nice cities and towns, castles, beautiful nature. The train journey from Poprad to here, about an hour and 20 minutes, was just absolutely gorgeous. So an underrated country in my opinion, but hey, that's fine. If there's less tourists here, then works for me. Okay, so this is just going to be a bit of a random walking around tour of the city. I do have specific places in mind to check out, but just going to do a wander here, see some of the sights, the streets, the people, see what we come across. Somewhere around here is supposed to be a really cute art street, so let's find that. So I stopped filming to search on my phone for that street that I was looking for, and the funny thing is that I was standing right on the red pin. So it is Hrnčarska Street, however you actually say that. The Slovak language is very, very challenging. So there it says Museum Rodosto. I think this is the prison. Let's go ahead and look inside here. I don't want to do a whole lot of filming inside museums, but maybe I can just look in here. I guess so. It smells so good in here, from flowers. There aren't even that many flowers, but it just is absolutely inundated with flower smell. Okay, so there you go. Just a quick glimpse of the old prison. So Ulica in the Slavic languages, that word is pretty universal in various Slavic-speaking countries. So it's a street, not a point, and so I can tell looking that way that is obviously the area to explore. It isn't as interesting that way, but I'm going to show a little bit closer this museum. Pretty interesting exterior. Kind of looks like it was restored, but intentionally left parts of it exposed just to show the original building or something. Kulturna Pamiatka. So, as far as what I can say in Slovak, then I can say Dobrý den is hello, good day. So I wanted to compare it to Polish to see the similarities and differences. Whoa, interesting. Whatever this is, seems like it must be representing something, but not sure about that. And so in Polish, then good day is Dzień dobry. In Slovak, Dobrý den. So they have the dobry the same, but then Dzień dobry and Dobrý den. And then thank you in Polish is dziękuję. In Slovak, it is dziękuję. So it is very close, but still also quite different. It's actually more different, I would say, than comparing Italian and Spanish, for example. Italian, thank you, grazie. Spanish, thank you, gracias. They're so close. So many words in Spanish and Italian are just like almost exactly the same. And so it's a little bit similar, it seems, with the Slavic languages compared to the Romantic languages. But I don't have a strong feeling of exactly how different they are. But as I understand it, they're different enough that they can't just talk to each other. So I guess this is the art street with various businesses, pub, with lots of unique character. Bernard Pivo. So Pivo is beer. Also I can say water. Voda. Okay, I guess that is basically it for that street. So let's get back onto the main pedestrian street out there. It goes for quite a long ways, and head down to the end, which I showed in my last video. So this will be a little bit of a repeat, but with some new places included as well, including that I will try to go up the tower next to the church that I showed before. Hopefully that's open, should be on a Wednesday afternoon. So I wanted to show this sculpture here up close. We're back at the plague column, and so you have this little stream running through. I have no idea what happens to the water. When I was here another time, there was almost no water flowing, so it comes and goes, I guess, but a really cool little sort of cascade here. And so I just ran into a viewer, Ingrid, from Košice. I've run into tons of viewers here, like more often than it usually happens, 4 different times. Yesterday I met Otto, also from here, and then another woman who said that her boyfriend watches my videos. She was from here as well, and then a couple from England. So Ingrid had an interesting story. She left here for 30 years and lived elsewhere in Europe. She was saying that a lot of young people are leaving Košice because it's too small and quiet and not enough jobs here. Alright, so the pedestrian street goes up that way a little ways further, but it's a bit more interesting down this way. You can see all the various restaurants. I've been trying different ones. This is my 3rd full day here. I booked 5 nights at my hotel there, and tomorrow is already my last day, and I have no idea what I'm doing next. I need to figure out my plans, but I'll deal with that later. So let's try to go up the tower. So this is St. Elizabeth's Cathedral. It is the largest church in Slovakia, built from the 14th to the 16th centuries in the Gothic style. So I think that the little door to go up it is right here. All right, here we go. It is a very narrow spiraling staircase with frescoes. It was €6, but that includes going inside the church. Otherwise, it's €3 just for this. All right, is this gonna be this skinny spiraling staircase all the way up? Let's see how long this takes. Feeling the legs already. Okay, well that was it for that. Okay, more spiraling stone steps. Okay, here is the bell, but this is not the top. Okay, I think we're there. Look at this trap door.
Schmeckt immer noch. Hast du aufgefüllt, oder? Am Wasserhahn. Ja. Das schmeckt immer noch.
That ceiling looks really similar to the one in Croatia, in the capital. Alright, that was definitely the best spiraling staircase bell tower climb I've done. And let's see inside. And so we're now getting close to the end of the old town. I showed this before, but it is worth showing again. The quite remarkable carvings here on this little church. There's a year here, I remember it being 1583. Where did it go? There we go. MDL XXX III. 1583. And then here, these are just amazing. Claudius, Nepos, Magnifici Doni. So I came across this on the day that I arrived, wasn't sure what it was, and so now I can explain. The coat of arms of Košice. Košice, previously part of the Kingdom of Hungary, was the first town in Europe to be granted its own coat of arms. It was granted by King Louis I the Great at the castle of Diosgyőr, near present-day Miskolc in 1369. So there you can see it says 1369. By the year 1502, and above there it says 1502, it had obtained altogether 4 heraldic warrants from 4 monarchs. The coat of arms used today is virtually unchanged since 1502. So I guess those are the 4 different coat of arms. It changed, but in the last 3, then it all has the angel figure. So some quite interesting history there. What is this? Oh, it's just restrooms, but it's quite historic looking for restrooms. It looks like catacombs. Whoa, yeah. Look at that. Whoa, it goes way back in there, so maybe sometimes you can get a tour. Locked at the moment, but that is a pretty wild gate. I guess that folds up. Interesting. Okay, so this is not just a restroom. There were restrooms, but this is a historical site. The old city walls, which are, I guess, slightly submerged. So here is some of the history, the origins of the city. In the 1240s, shortly after the departure of the Mongols, Hungarian king Bela IV of Arpad dynasty settled German colonists, so-called guests, in Košice. They founded the basis of the medieval town, for which they used the already existing local name, German equivalent Kauşau. The aftermath of the Mongol expansion saw a decline in importance of the road connecting the Kingdom of Hungary with Kievan Rus. So Košice, Prešov, I want to go there. Levocha, people have recommended that, as well as Bardejov. There is a lot to see in Slovakia. Gate Tower, 14th century. pre-wall area, 14th, 15th century. Look at this crazy gargoyle moat, 15th century. And so there you can see the roof of that church that looks very similar to the one in Zagreb, capital of Croatia. So maybe a similar influence and time frame. And this is the end of the old town. Glad that I happened to see the WC sign for the restrooms, and then went down there and discovered that it was actually a very important part of the city's history. So that is all as far as what I found online in terms of the main sights to see of the city. Out there, one of the little trams that I took from the train station when I arrived. So no need to walk over to the train station and show that again. I think mostly it's just going to be modern buildings around here. So that is going to do it for the tour of Košice. Very, very nice city, a nice size, very walkable. A great pedestrian area there with lots of great restaurants. I've been loving the food. Had all kinds of local stuff, and it's all been just amazing. So one more day tomorrow, unless I change plans and stay longer. I just have no idea. I just need to make up my mind which direction I'm going, but I haven't done that yet. Here we go with the water moat, I guess, again. So I guess the water bubbles out of those, or are those like lights? And the water comes up from there maybe and then flows down, not sure. Anyway, Košice, one of the nicest cities in Europe that most people have not heard of. So glad to have made it over to this part of Slovakia. Lots more coming from Slovakia, maybe. I don't know what's happening yet. I could catch a flight, I could catch a train, I could catch a bus, I could stay here. So we'll find out in the next video. Well, I have tomorrow still here. So tomorrow, likely more exploring somewhere outside of Košice, we shall see.